got the recipe, and I kept receipts. The smell it covers me. Mods only weed. I just chopped the tree. I didn't stop to breathe. I couldn't stop my greed. It hit me like I'm Creed.
Yo, this is the Good Draws Podcast Pod Chat. I'm not Diamond Key. This is episode 74, I believe. This is brought to you by UpSouthCollective and Gorealah Mafia family. And the video production part is brought to you by ShooterDavis. Am I right? That's the name, ShooterDavis. And yeah, this is the Good Draws. Do I say anything else on the intro? I don't think I do. I might, but if I do, if I forget, somebody remind me, we'll be all right. It's a Good Draws.
Gorealah Mafia family.
And we are all the way black. This bitch. And yeah, so there's politicians and shit. Mike Pence, I think, was like the most recent notable person talking about these vaccines and shit. Hold on. So backtrack. So when this shit popped off, like the pandemic and shit, I was talking about quarantine being a change of way of life type situation, more so than a precaution for people not getting the disease type shit. And I probably sounded crazy, but I was right. I just had to make the note of that. But so they have these people taking these, saying they're gonna take these tests, right? In front of my fault. Before we go on, get your blank, get your bong, get your paper, get your bowl, get your, it doesn't matter. Get everything you need to roll your weeds, your THCs. Call your weed mans. Tell them it's the Good Drugs. Light up. It's the Good Drugs. Got time for that shit. So yeah, as I was saying, I didn't say vaccine. What'd I say? So yes, these is people taking these vaccines, these vaccinations, live, saying they're gonna take these vaccinations live in front of everyone. I guess to try to convince people that this shit's safe, because there's a lot of people, black people, who don't believe in vaccines. Period. Even though, like, to send your kid to school and shit, there's certain shots that are required. I know I remember taking these shots and they numb my arm and it hurt, but there's shots and shit that we take, but this is like something different, because if we can remember the Tuskegee experiment with the black men. So just to read on what the fuck I'm talking about. So this is from, I believe, the Huffington Post. If I'm not, they probably wrote on it. So anyways, the head of the the Centers for Disease, CDC, approved Pfizer's coronavirus vaccine for Americans 16 and older, with the news breaking on the same day that the pharmaceutical company began to roll out its first nationwide shipments. CDC Director Robert Redfield, now that's a white name, on Saturday officially approved an endorsement made by the CDC's advisory committee, blah, 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 blah. It was widely reported last Sunday, or whatever you listen to this, it was reported on a Sunday, that they say health workers and people at the long-term facilities, old people, are going to be the first people in line with the vaccination. Yeah. So people getting vaccinated is here. I remember I had talked about the Australian airline that was requiring people to either show proof of this test. I mean, is it a test? It's not a test?
It's a vaccine.
So it's not, show proof of this.
Show people that it's not a bad reaction.
Yes. But the Australian airline was requiring people, are going to start requiring people to show proof that they've received the vaccination before they can abort their planes and shit. And yeah, we're here in America, and they're gonna start closing shit. I'm just gonna throw this out here. They're gonna start closing shit, and when they open shit back up, you're gonna have to get your fucking vaccination. If you don't have your fucking vaccination, you're not gonna be allowed in this bitch. So, yeah, we're here. And so yeah, they got vaccinations and shit. And I just want to say for like those I think I said that already, but I want to say it again. So for those like for all the dark skinned niggas, not dark skinned niggas, yes, dark skinned niggas, meaning black people, meaning colored people, whatever the fuck you want to call yourself. Um, they're trying to convince us that yeah, I didn't say this part. So Bill Gates had an interview, and he got on an interview, and he basically like I'm like it wasn't like the whole gist of the interview, but parts of the interview like rubbed the nigga the wrong way. But like he insinuated, I like that word. He insinuated that fucking a black lady created this damn virus, so we're most susceptible to it, which isn't true, but because it's not true because I like all right, I'm backtracking again. So I covered like a lot about this shit like early on about like how it got here, who brought it here, what companies funded the shit, the doctor involved that went to trial, ultimately went to prison. Like I covered a lot of this shit. So if you listen to this shit and you've seen that Bill Gates interview, just know that a lot of that shit when it came to like the virus and the effects and because he has a whole plan of like 2030. I'm ranting now, but he has a whole plan of like by 2030 of like depopulation, controlling shit, and he even said out of his own mouth that besides the government being like the biggest funder of the vaccine and the virus, his foundation is the second biggest funder, which is crazy. Which actually makes him the biggest funder because government doesn't count. So my fault, that was a rant. So anyways, yes. Moving on. So Donald Trump finally lost the election, like officially, and I just think it's funny to point this shit out that here, my fault, that this nigga lost like the same election like 3 different times, and that shit's hilarious to me. That's really all I got on that. But yes, he's finally out of the office, and that's great for some people. For all people, I guess, but it's not too great, I guess, because nobody really did their research on the people that are in office. If they do our research on people that are in office, then it's not really a good thing. So, yeah, moving on. It's the good drugs. And so, yeah, so yeah, my fault. I didn't let the music just fade out like that. But so Christmas is coming up and shit. And there's a few years ago on Facebook on Fuckbook, I I had started like posting like around like the holidays and shit, like backstories like on like etymology, like roots of um the holidays, just where they come from and how they came about and the true origins of them and shit of that nature. So here we go, Christmas. So and also there's talks of like December 21st being like a solar powerful day for black people because something with the solar system and the sun, and this ties into that. So as I clear my voice for reading, on December 22nd marks the hate when it does that. My fault. So on December 22nd, it marks the first day of winter officially. All right, so anyways, backstory on the backstory. So there's a book called Serpent in the Sky. There's also a book called Stolen Legacy. They talk about, of course, our legacy being stolen by the name of these books. And Serpent in the Sky has nothing to do with a snake or anything like that. It's just like being the cosmos being the cosmos and original people being connected and being divine, because a serpent is just a divine creature. It has nothing to do with a snake or animal. Or anyways, moving on. So on December 22nd, this marks and what I'm saying that because this has everything to do with it. So on December 22nd marks the first day of winter, and on that day of every year, the sun reaches a point where it stops. I'm just putting this into our terms. Every day, the sun reaches a point where it stops, heading south for 3 days, 22nd, 23rd, and 24th. And then the sun rises on the same degree, which is the lowest degree in the southern sky. So there's like two separate skies, the northern sky, southern sky. So which is South America is the southern sky. So it's as if the sun is at a standstill for those 3 days. So here we go. And then on the 25th of December, every year the sun shifts 1 degree north, and it starts to rise again. Hence, I'm born again, meaning it's heading back to the northern hemisphere, where it will be, where it will move 90 degrees in 90 days. Every day is a degree, so 90 days. It will move 90 days, and it does this cycle every year, which we have the 4 seasons. Back and forth across the equator to give us the 4 different seasons. I just said that. 360 days, which is the original calendar. They added the 5 days, 6 days for different reasons. I'm not going to go into that. But the 4 seasons, spring, summer, fall, winter. And why is all this relevant? Boom. Because Christmas comes from like religion and shit, right? And I was raised Christian, so I'm talking about Christianity. So they celebrate Christianity based off Jesus being dying, being born again. This certain shit we talk about within the Bible and shit, and it's based off of everything I literally just said. When those 3 days, I'm not gonna say that shit again. You heard what I said. So yes, the Bible, the Sun book. I went into all this shit on Facebook, Fuckbook, which I'm not gonna go into because this is my partner. I don't want to do all that shit. But yes, you can go read up on this shit. You can still celebrate it. That's cool. It's cool to give gifts. I don't care. I don't give a fuck. I don't celebrate this shit, but we have little ones, so I kind of have to. But yes, this is the Good Drugs. This is brought to you by UpSouthCollective. Shout out nigga AD. I don't know if I already shot a nigga out. And Gorealah Mafia family. And the production side is brought to you by ShooterDavis. And she doesn't ever want to be shouted out, so whatever. Yeah, y'all niggas stay up, be safe, stay dangerous. It's the Good Drugs.